Big.
So morning, y'all.
Morning.
It's our first day in Tulum. Well, it's afternoon now. It's 12:01. It's our first day in Tulum. We got here last night around, I'd say like 9:30ish. So that would have been in a video before this one. And
we reached after 10.
Oh, we reached here after 10. Yeah, so we got in after 10 last night. All we did was unpack the main things we needed, like for a shower, and then we went to bed. Darren got up pretty early to get some sunset shots. Sunrise shots, which y'all would have seen in the intro of this video. And then we also got a pretty slow start to our day today. So I slowly unpacked and just took our time this morning. But now we're gonna go to the grocery store, and we wanted to do a video on how we plan to grocery shop over here. Number one, a budget, so y'all could kind of have an idea, and also mention our lifestyle change in terms of around our diet and how we plan to change up our diet to live a healthier lifestyle
and incorporate more exercise, and even if it's not exercise, more activity instead of a sedentary lifestyle, just working. You know what I mean?
So like that's walking more, whether that's walking to the central instead of catching a taxi, or walking around the neighborhood, going outside, getting some sun more often. Since we have a pool, we can launder by the pool.
Or even walking through this corner, or running, or light jog on the main strip.
Yeah. So just mainly we want to live a more healthy lifestyle, drink more water, incorporate infused water in our diet, but we'll get into all of that right now in terms of our personal goals, because for the most part our goals are similar but just a little bit different. We've been planning this for a while, and we knew when we hit Tulum we would hit the ground running, since we'll have access to certain things like plant-based milk and tofu and oatmeal, stuff we didn't have access to in Turkey. You want some more water, love?
And if you see me looking down, I have some notes that I have here in the phone that's separate from the ones on Sonia's computer. Because I think what will help me most with this is just, I tend to gravitate more towards Asian dishes, so just veganizing some of my Asian favorites. Stir fries, ramen, fried rice, things like that.
That'll help me a lot too.
Substitutes, lentil burgers, black bean burgers, things like that.
So we'll just hop straight into it. So first we're going to talk about our diet changes, and I'll start based roughly on what my goals will be. So because we want to slowly transition and have it sustainable, we figured going with a percentage system, like a rough percentage system, would be helpful for us. So for me, I have 50% plant-based meals, 30% pescatarian meals. That'll be like on occasion, if we really feel like eating it at home, or if we're going out to eat, like on a date night or with friends. And then 30% ovotarian meals. So that's basically just us incorporating eggs in some of our breakfasts. If we eat it for lunch, it'll be like if we want to add it to a salad or something.
Or a bowl.
Yeah, or a bowl. But I don't think that'll be often. It'll mainly be for breakfast. So
or maybe like lunch, like egg in a ramen dish.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good idea. So for me, that's 30%. I'll put a chart on the screen. That's 30% plant-based meals, 30%, 50% plant-based meals, 30% pescatarian meals, and 20% ovotarian meals. I want to limit dairy as much as I can, eventually cut it out all the way. I'm definitely going to stay away from like regular milk. It's easy to get plant-based milk over here in terms of if we go to a coffee shop or a restaurant, plant-based milk is easy to find. The only time I could see me eating dairy is if it's in like a dish or something, like some pasta dish or if we get pizza. For drinks, it'll be mostly water. We want to incorporate drinking infused water in a day. And stuff like agua fresca, which is popular here in Mexico, which is essentially fruit blended up with water. And sugar, but I'll probably omit the sugar when I make it home, and then when we order it out, I'll be fine with it. Soft drinks on rare occasions, like if we go out, because I don't tend to drink often. If Darian gets like a mixed drink, I'll probably just get, if not agua fresca, then I'll get a soda if I really feeling it. Or like, let's say we order pizza, we like to drink soda with pizza to kind of cut that grease. You know, when you're drinking a greasy meal, you kind of want some soda. So on very rare occasions, but for the most part, we want to get in a lot of water, and we plan on getting that in with just regular water, infused water, and agua fresca, which is very easy to find here. And then Darian could go on and tell y'all what his breakdown is and his goals.
For me, I'd say typically I would eat a lot of meat. So mine would be 50% plant-based, 20% pescatarian if we could find a good place to buy fish, because the regular supermarkets like Supaki and Chedraui, the quality isn't that good. And then 20% ovo, with that being including eggs in the breakfast or in the lunch, and then 10% meat. But for meat, it would just be chicken, beef. I doubt lamb, so just chicken and beef, no pork or no lamb, and no dairy at all. I don't have a hard time omitting dairy, and then no soft drinks at all. So no juice, no soda.
So agua fresca and stuff like that. What about freshly squeezed juice?
Freshly squeezed juice is fine, but no processed juice. I'm not a really big agua fresca fan either, so if it's not water, it'll be freshly squeezed juice. And then I have beers occasionally. I want to cut down on my intake of beers because of the yeast in the beers that attributes to bloating. So
in
beers
the stomach area.
So beers on occasion, and then I'll still be drinking my red wine. And then
soft drinks occasionally.
Mixed drinks. Mixed drinks occasionally.
When we go out, mainly because we don't really drink much at home. We'll have wine probably sometimes, and Darian used to have beer, and it still wasn't that often at home. It's just mainly going out. So when we go out for something to eat, which we won't often because we're on a budget, and then mainly we're on a budget because we could find healthy meals here super easy in Tulum. There are a lot of vegetarian, vegan options, vegan restaurants that have really good food, but we want to stick to a budget and live well below our means. Now, when we could decrease our rent or go to a cheaper part of Mexico, then we may eat out more just for the experience of it, because we enjoy going out there and having the experience of eating out. But for right now, since our rent is a little bit more expensive, considering when you compare it to other parts of Mexico, we'll cut down on how much we eat out.
That'll be a good way to compare not only just the different parts of Mexico, but what you have accessibility to. Like, if the rent is cheaper, then you can allocate that money to other areas, entertainment or food or whatever.
Yeah, so we just want to have it balanced and live below our means and live comfortably. So now that y'all know our breakdowns, and then I already mentioned for some meals we'll eat the same thing, and for others we won't. I'd say mainly breakfast. When I feel like eating a more sweet breakfast, which isn't often, Darian will have a savory breakfast. And then on the mornings when we both want savory breakfast, we'll eat the same thing. I could see us eating the same lunch and the same dinner, because we love the same thing in terms of the Asian foods and all of that. And we back, y'all. We had some. First, we had to change our memory card and the battery. And then something happened where it shut off while we were recording. So, what we recorded didn't save on the memory card. So, we'll go over that portion again. So, we broke our food down into categories and we made a loose meal plan based on a few sections because the meal planning doesn't work for us. The sections we chose were infused water that we want to incorporate daily, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And snacks for us would be like something more substantial like sandwich and soup as opposed to junk food because they don't really hold you over. We want our snacks to fuel us in between our larger meals and kind of hold us over. So Darren can mention some of the, well, I can mention for you. I'll mention for you. So I'll go over our meal plans that we have for this week. I'll start off with Darian's plan. So for breakfast, Darian planned to have some scrambled eggs, roasted potatoes, tomatoes, spinach, and mushrooms. He also want to incorporate some fruit bowls, avocado toast, and oatmeal. And for these ones, he can mix and match. So some mornings he'll have avocado toast with scrambled egg. Some mornings he could have fruit bowls and oatmeal. So the main thing is to have the base that we could mix and match and make different meals based on what we feeling in the morning. For lunch and dinner, he wants veggie stir-fry noodles, veggie burgers, curry chickpeas, rice bowls. So like rice, a protein, and veggies on the side. Soup and sandwich. And ramen. And when we say ramen, we don't mean like using the packets from the ramen that you would get for like 25 cents at the grocery store. We mean like using the ramen noodles and making our own gourmet, if you will, ramen dishes that you would get like in a ramen restaurant.
So, or real ramen.
Yeah,
or
real
like
ramen.
Udon noodles with some other kind of rice or glass noodles. But instead of a pork or beef or chicken broth, I'll make a vegan broth.
Like a veggie broth. And for snacks, it'll be soups with veggies and hummus or soup and sandwich. Yeah. So that's Darian's list. For my list, for breakfast, I'll have the same as Darian. And if I do want something a little bit sweet for breakfast, I'll make French toast since we already have the bread and the eggs. So like the bread from the sandwich and the eggs that we'll already have, I can make French toast with that easily. But on the days when I feel like eating savory, I'll just eat what Darian eats. We'll eat the same thing. For lunch and dinner, also the same as Darian, but I also want to try some vegan or veggie wraps and burritos. That may not be this week, that may be next week, but I'll have that here for now. And I really want to experiment with tofu in terms of getting the texture right. So freezing it, pressing it, tossing it in cornstarch or tapioca flour to get a nice crunch on it, and marinating it, and then putting it in a nice Asian inspired sauce. So like sweet and sour, General Tso's, teriyaki. So basically when we feel like eating Chinese takeout, I want to be able to veganize that. So I want to experiment with tofu this week, and I'll do that by making an Asian inspired tofu dish with rice and a veggie, whether it be like peas or broccoli or something. So I'll call it Asian inspired tofu rice bowls. We have a blender here, but I don't know if we feeling smoothies this week, so that may not be something we do this week. That may be something we do next week. If we decide to change that up while we're in the grocery store, we'll talk about that when we get back and do the grocery haul. Okay, so now that you know our food list, I'll go on to, or you could say what we have on the list for hair and skin this week. But this will last us like as long as we hair.
Just some pretty simple staples. So shampoo, conditioner, olive oil, and hairpins.
Yeah, we use olive oil in our hair, and while we're here in a hotter climate, we moisturize with olive oil mostly because lotion could tend to be too heavy. But we also have a little bit of lotion in a room that Darian could use if he don't want to use olive oil. And for miscellaneous items, I have a foot file, feminine hygiene products, toilet paper, paper towel, and bug spray. We're in the jungle, so there will be bugs.
Yeah.
And we want to be equipped when they come. We don't need any detergent or anything because we always go to the lavanderia. And if we need to hand wash anything, we'll hand wash it with the Dr. Bronner's soap that we'll get probably on the next grocery shop when we go to a specialty store. So yeah, that's about it. I also wanted to mention that we'll leave room for certain things that may be on sale or certain things that may look good when we get in the grocery store. So we may see something that we want to eat this week. Cheers.
Very nice.
That's it, right?
And this bottle here.
Okay. So I have, yeah, no, that was mine.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember seeing that.
I get a new one. It's fine, because it's an open, so that may be staley. So our Airbnb host just brought some of the items that we left the last time we were here.
Shout out to Paco.
Shout out to you, Paco.
You were a real one.
He kept one of our 5-gallon bottles as well. So,
and he kept some pots that we bought as well.
So we have those pots.
So
and
that'll save us from having to rebuy them.
Yeah, and we could get some water today when we go to the grocery store, because in Mexico you can't use the water even to. Huh?
Pure 5 gallon.
Oh yeah, you're right. In Mexico, you can't use the water. You have to wash even your fruits and veggies with good water. So we make sure to have the 5 gallons on deck because we go through it pretty quickly. I usually try to keep 2 in our apartment because especially now that we want to drink water more often and do infused waters and stuff. And then one for like washing veggies and cooking with. So we have lentils and black beans and curry powder, so we don't have to buy those this week, and that'll work out good for the burgers, because lentil and black bean burgers. And then we also got this
Squeeze bottle
for
sauce or dressing.
So we could even make like a all-purpose sauce that we could put on our bowls when we want to zhuzh it up a little bit, so that'll come in handy. So yeah, I wanted to end with saying that we also want to leave room for anything we see that's on sale, or if we go in a grocery store and something looks good and we decide to eat that this week. Keep in mind that this is a rough plan. A rough guide of what we want to eat this week. It could change based on what we see that looks good. And also
there may be things on this that the grocery store doesn't have. The quality isn't the best, so we'll just have to adjust and incorporate something different.
Yeah, and for the most part, a lot of the ingredients can be used in different dishes for breakfast, lunches, and dinners. So our grocery list shouldn't be so long, even though we have a wide variety of dishes that we plan to eat over the next 2 weeks. I wouldn't just say this week. And also we want to leave room for building up our staples, so like flour, pasta, rice, plant-based milks. We also building up our seasoning this week, so we got to get like salt, pepper, herbs, and spices. So that'll be on the list as well. Also, I think that was it. So we'll take you all to the store with us. We record as much as we can, taking into consideration it's a pandemic, and also we don't know how full the store will be. I don't think we've ever been on a Monday this early before, so we don't know if the store will be crowded or what. We'll try to record as much as we can. If not, we'll just get a few clips here and there, and then we'll definitely do a grocery haul when we get back and let you know how much we spent on everything. So and then of course we don't have to mention that we get an onion and garlic and stuff like that, because that's a given. I think we'll go to the main grocery store, Chedraui, and then we'll probably go to one of the fruit and veggie markets in the area to get the produce if Chedraui produce is more expensive or not as good.
They tend to be good for the most part though.
Yeah, they tend to be good quality for the most part. They have really good produce. Yeah.
So we'll head to the store and then we'll fill you guys in when we get back.
Yeah, bye. Está bien. got your test right there, boo. Gotta carve it.
So this is Shadrawi, one of the major food stores that we go to. You have Shadrawi, then you have Super Aki, and then you have some other smaller local ones. But this is the main, one of the main food stores that we go to. At least the main one that we go to. So we show you how it looks inside. Hola, no gracias.
Acabamos de presentarse en la caja 15, variedades industriales estarán en la caja 15.
And water down ketchup.
So we're back from the store now. We're able to get a lot of the things that we went in for, plus a couple extra stuff that just couldn't resist because of the prices. We did pretty good. Actually, we were able to stick to our list and stick within our budget. So you got some coffee, mustard, bacon, one shampoo for now, toilet tissue, 2 of these Tupperware containers to store leftover food in, some vermicelli and udon noodles for some veggie stir fry noodles or ramen, spatula, salt, mayonnaise, ground ginger, ground cloves, some Montreal chicken seasoning, crushed red pepper flakes, ground cumin, some like cayenne, cinnamon, ground onion, and some whole black peppercorns. He brought a grinder back from Turkey, so we just got the whole peppercorns because the regular ground black pepper is too fine, like a powder. Some tomato puree to make soup, and pasta sauce, vegetable oil, soy sauce, toasted sesame and soybean oil, some chickpeas. We got 4 of these. Black beans for the burgers, black bean burgers, and then just to have as a side with some rice if you're feeling it. Some coconut milk if you decide to make pasta, or it can go in a soup. This is some cashew milk for pasta as well, and some soy milk, some soy vanilla milk for coffee. I got this tamarind pulp to reconstitute with some liquid and turn it into like a paste to make sauce for like pad thai and some other Asian sauces. So I got a spaghetti here, fusilli, flour, cornstarch, sugar, 2 bags of rice, oats, hamburger buns. These are tortillas for breakfast burritos or burritos for lunch. Bread for avocado toast and sandwiches. For produce, you have Brussels sprouts, rosemary, limes, some tomatillos, some tomatoes, parsley, cilantro, green onion, mushroom, white onion, green bell pepper, 2 carrots, cucumber, some white potatoes, some serrano peppers for salsa, and some pepper sauce that I'm gonna make. And red onions are for avocado toast, and then I'm gonna do one strictly for pickled onions, some ginger, some dehydrated adobo peppers, guajillo peppers, and some other peppers. I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna reconstitute those with water and then blend it up to form a paste to make a chili sauce for some of the Asian dishes. And then for meat, like I said, it'll be 10%. So I got a pack of steak and a pack of thighs. And then we got this lighter for the stove. We got 3 of these, so another one is in the bag, and then 2 more of these chickpeas is in the bag as well. So all of this for 2,142 pesos, which is $100 US. I think we did pretty good. And 30 pack of eggs. So with this, we have a lot of staples with the rice, beans, potato that we can stretch and be able to create multiple meals. The potatoes can go for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So we have a pretty good base to work with.